needlesscomplexityradio@gmail.com. Say what is on your mind. Enjoy the show.
All right, well, will you guys indulge me for a second, okay? Just for a couple minutes. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. Maybe this won't make sense to anyone. But so I had this little thought experiment kind of swirling around in my head, and I know what you're thinking, Julian. A thought experiment from you? How ironic. But I think sometimes, therefore I am sometimes. You guys didn't know Julian had a little bit of Descartes in him. All right? I can philosophize now and again. That's a beautiful dog, by the way. Okay. Here's the thought, right? Here's the idea. Let's say you have like this operating system, right? You have an OS. All right? And let's say this operating system, it's an old operating system, all right? Let's say this operating system is like 250 years old. All right, I'm just throwing out a random number, okay? 250-year-old operating system. And let's just say this operating system was developed or created by a very small group of developers, right? All of these developers came together and they're like, hey, let's build this operating system that these devices and machines and computers can run off of. Let's program it so it goes this way, it does that, whatever, okay, whatever. And let's say for that time, all right, 250 years ago, all right, super random number, absolutely not connected to anything whatsoever. Let's say that operating system was developed and it worked okay during that time for those people that developed it through their lens and understanding and maybe even biases of how operating systems should run computers. Okay. So let's fast forward a little bit. Okay. So let's say this operating system gets developed. The computers are running on it very well. Things seem to be okay. No major bugs. Okay. Whatever. And let's say, as you know, with time, other developers from maybe other organizations or enterprises start developing their own operating systems as well that run their machines. So as time goes on, years go on and years go on. Let's say new computers are starting to be built and new software applications are starting to be built. And these software applications become a little bit more advanced and can do more things. However, this 250-year-old operating system can't quite run the computers at the level that they can just because of time. It's a very old, outdated operating system. The computers just don't run very well on it anymore. The software applications that were once developed with this operating system in mind, it starts to become a little outdated. And it seems like all of these other companies are developing applications and operating systems and machines to pretty much keep up with the times, right? Because if there's anything we know everything changes over time, whether you like it or not. Absolutely nothing stays the same, right? New ideas turn into old ideas. new shiny things turn into relics. Certain ideas of thinking end up changing as the world evolves. So let's go back to our 250-year-old operating system. Well, they can see all around that all of these other companies are developing new operating systems to keep up with the changing times of technology, and all of these applications are running seamlessly. We switch from disks to SSDs and all of that, and things are progressing. But let's just say the family members and descendants of these original core developers that developed these operating systems, well, they're like, well, we do see that other companies are developing things, but ours works fine. Ours is good, and we're not changing this. And they say, well, why wouldn't you change it? I mean, don't you want to keep up with the times? Don't you want to create more optimized, more agile operating systems that can run all of these new programs and on these faster machines? No. We're not doing that. Well, why not? Well, we're not doing that because it doesn't need to change. Well, it doesn't need to change. Everything changes over time, right? Yes, but this is the way that we develop this, and it's not going to change whatsoever. So my question is, all right, this is really simple. I'm just like adding a lot of fluff for dramatic effect. Do we change the operating system? Do we update the operating system to keep up with the times and be better optimized for applications that are running and make your computing experience more seamless, more better? You see how well I put words together? Or do you keep the operating system the same? You don't change it at all. You keep it as is because this is tradition and nothing is supposed to change. Everything in nature changes, whether you like it or not. Everything progresses, whether you like it or not. New ideas become old ideas. New ways of doing things become old ways of doing things. So why wouldn't you update the operating system to keep up with the times? Welcome to the Needless Complexity Show. My name is Julian. All right, everybody. You're getting my favorite Julian. You're getting Okar Julian. Okar Julian driving up the street on a beautiful sunny, a cold day here in Florida, hun. How's everybody doing today? I hope you guys are doing all right. I hope you, okay, there's a person crossing the street in a scooter. Gotta love it, baby. How's everybody doing today on old MLK Day? On MLK Jr. Day, huh? Pay your respects. I don't want to see you sitting up watching Netflix. Go outside. All right? Appreciate the way that MLK paid for you. All colors of people. Here's what you do, all right? Because we already know every single city has one, all right? Here's what you do on MLK Day, all right? And I don't want to hear any excuses. You go to your city, probably downtown, all right? Be vigilant though. All right? Let's be diplomatic, but let's also be vigilant on. You go downtown. This is what I do, all right? You go downtown, you find MLK Jr. Street, and you stand on the corner and you sit and you reflect. All right? Reflect on the things that MLK did so that you can have a better life. And that goes for everybody, okay? You don't just have to be Afro-American. All right? Actually, I was very fortunate enough a couple of years ago. I went to Atlanta. Atlanta's a great city. I feel like Atlanta's like the kind of city that I feel like I would go. Like if I knew there wasn't any like romantic hope for me whatsoever, which I don't think that there is. I think I would go to Atlanta. Like I'd hit like 50. I'd go to Atlanta, and I'd just like ball out on Southern food. I think that's really what it all came down to. And I'd wait for a diagnosis of either coronary heart disease or diabetic neuropathy. And I'd be like, you know what? This is where my life led me, so I'm good. And Atlanta has horrible traffic, though, by the way. I feel like I have lived in like two of the worst cities in the nation for traffic. I've lived in the DMV, and I've also lived in LA. And for some reason, the traffic in Atlanta seems worse. If if that's possible. But the point that I was getting to was a couple years ago, an ex of mine and we went to Atlanta. Just a little vacation. It's a little short drive up from Florida, and we went to the Martin Luther King National Monument. And Jesus Christ, like what a sobering place that is. It's interesting. Like you go to, I love museums, I love history. Julian loves learning about things that happened in the past and how it has shaped our present and how it will shape our future. I think there's a lot to be learned. There's a lot to be learned from history. And I think in a very sort of philosophical way, you can look at history to see the trajectory of the future. Because things like, God, I fucking hate that I do this, but I'm gonna go down the branch. The nature of man, I don't think changes. Like I don't think from like a biological perspective, the nature of humans changes. I don't necessarily think that humans are any more or less good or bad than we've ever been throughout history. I think it's just, we've got some guardrails up on, Get him off the guillotine, all right? Let's at least have a trial first. You know what I'm saying? I just think the way that that power is used and abused is it just looks a little bit different than what it used to. But the point is, so we had gone to the Martin Luther King National Monument, which was just absolutely like, you hear the stories, you read the books, you see the documentaries, you do all of that, you snap your fingers, you go to, Busboys and Poets in DC, and you're like, okay, I'm with the shits now. No, you're not. No, you are not, sweetheart. And no, you're not just by going to the monument. I mean, that was something that was like built by people. And I think that, you can never really understand something until you've lived it. And if you haven't lived it, unfortunately, you just don't know. So, and that's just, I fully recognize, I'm also talking out of my ass. So, I went to the National Monument, and, it's very sprawling. So, you see where, his childhood home, we went in there, and, I'm gonna be honest with you. We walked in his house, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, I think he was living better than I was as a kid. His house was like nice. All right. All right, MLK, throw me a $5 bill or something. All right. Um, yeah, it's pretty incredible. We saw the house that he grew up in, and then they sort of have this little row of homes called like the shotgun homes, which they kind of just look like mini bungalows, and those houses like have not been touched. I mean, I'm sure they've like restored them, you know what I mean, for to keep their historical integrity. But it just kind of really puts in perspective of just like, okay, this wasn't that long ago. Like the house that I'm living in now is like not that much older than like the house that he is in. I think it's so easy to just sort of be consumed with our lives and sort of like the world, and like that it's very easy to forget how not that long ago things were very different for a lot of people, right? But yeah, the monument is like very sobering, and it's like one of those things where when you like go to a museum and there's just like people just kind of like walking and talking, and you're squeezing past people, and it's just like, get out, come on now, give me some room, I'm heavy, baby. Yeah, I felt like at the MLK monument it was just like dead silent. It was just like dead silent, like nobody was saying a word. And I'm pretty sure it was just because half the people felt guilty. If you know what I'm saying, baby. I'm not gonna lie, I was feeling emotional too. And I kind of carried it with me for a little bit. I got a little bit quiet, and my girl, she's like, "Hey, is everything?" I'm like, "I'm good." All right. But I take that stuff to heart. I started asking myself, I'm like, does she respect me as a black man? No, but yeah, it's yeah, I mean, the guy did some pretty incredible things, and the world is, I think the world is very different because of that. I don't think, and here's the other thing that I'll say, because I'm not trying to make the show about this episode. This is not at all what I really wanted to focus on. But I mean, because like, we get it, okay? all right. I don't think that I kind of like how I said a little bit further ago. I don't think that certain feelings or hatreds towards people has become like less. I just think that maybe I think awareness has spread, and I think that people are held way more accountable now, which I think is good. But yeah, I think in order to really change the world, in order to like really see like homogeny on a global scale, or harmony, I think that has to be changed like on a DNA like level. Like there's just something about and I could be wrong, I think this is a little bit of like a nihilistic view, and sure, I admit to that, but yeah, I just think that there's just something in the human spirit that I think is like equally like great and equally not so great. But I think that's also like the balance of life, right? Like I think that's also nature. And I am not by any means minimizing the injustice that has done to all people throughout history, because of their race, because of their religion or orientation or whatever. It's just like, can we just let us be? Like, can we just let us be? I saw this really funny Julian loves his memes these days. That's how I know I'm getting older. It's just like, entertainment for me is just like a good meme. But I saw this like really funny meme the other day, and it was basically like this beautiful picture of like this little like meadow, and then there were just like mountains in the background, and I think like the sun was either rising or setting, and the caption on the meme was like, someone looked at this and said, yes, we should create LinkedIn. And it's just like so crazy. Like if you really just tear everything apart and you just like really break everything down, it's just like why are we are nature, but we are also so against nature and just like the natural order of nature. Like we are just so against the natural order of nature. It's really mind-boggling, you know, truthfully, how we just like have this culture of just like, I just don't think humans were meant to live this way. And I think I talked about this in another episode. Like I just think that this construct, the way that things are built, you know, banks and money and this and that, and like it's just like, come on now, like this isn't it. This is not it. All right, in continuum, Julian, I didn't even tell you guys why I'm in the car. Julian's had a pretty eventful weekend, kind of bordering like, okay, I'm over it, like I want to relax. Like I feel like I did way too much social stuff this weekend. But Julian is on his way to his dear old friend's house, my dear old best bud, and gonna go treat that dude to lunch. Yeah, we've been like trying to make something work for a little while, and yeah, it worked today. So I'm very grateful. I'm very happy to be able to spend time with a good friend of mine. You know, he's a dad. He's a full-time dad times two. He's got 2 beautiful kids. You know, I look at that guy and I'm like, I'm just like, how do I be you? And I know that, like, I mean, obviously, like, the guy is, you know, he's kind of going through a lot right now. And I think, like, part of my envy of him is, like, and when I say envy, it's not envy. It's like love and admiration that I'm just calling envy, because then, like, I look at my life and I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing, Julian? Like, you're really sitting in your car, like, talking into, like, a little microphone with squirrel brain ADD. Like, yeah, that's my life. Oh, that's what I'm doing, hon. Get out of my way. Thank you. But no, the dude has like a beautiful family. Like he just had his daughter, you know, a few months back. He's got a beautiful little boy, like, you know, and they call Uncle Julian. I'm Uncle Julian to that little guy, you know. And I'm like, okay, like if there is a God, like, am I just Uncle Julian? I'm fine with it. All right. I love my little buddy, but you know, sometimes I feel like I'm paying for someone else's sins. But anyway, I'm gonna have to cut it short in a minute or two. Julian is getting his bud's house right at 1 o'clock. I love being punctual. I love being punctual. But I am gonna have to cut it short in a minute or two to go pick up my old bud. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing all right. I hope you continue to do all right out there in radio land. I'm probably going to be posting. I'm definitely posting this one today, Monday. But I didn't really get to start recording as early as I wanted to. So probably going to be posting this one a little bit later in the evening. But it is a beautiful day in Florida. As much as I have a love-hate relationship with it, and I can't wait to get the fuck out of here, man. But you know, I'm just going to live in the moment and appreciate this time that I have to spend with a very old friend. Me and this guy have been like best friends since like high school. So, you know, I don't take that lightly, because I feel like relationships, you know, especially in this time, are not easy to cultivate and then, you know, also foster. But Julian's gonna get a little bite to eat. I'll probably pick things back up when he gets back on the road, which will probably be like a second for you guys. But I got a lot to talk about. Julian had a busy weekend, man. I'm feeling a little bit tired, but you know what? I got to put in the work to be a functioning member of society. I can't be a complete hermit. Although, God damn it, sometimes it is nice. But yeah, we're gonna get into all that. But I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday. If you're working, I'm sorry. If you're off, I hope you were doing something that you enjoy, whether it be productive or not productive. If you're just sitting there on your phone, if that's what's bringing you joy, then power to you, bud. But I'll catch back up with you guys in a little bit. All right. See you later, Han. All right. All right. I'm seeing the flashing light, so it means we're good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and just like that, O'Julian is back. O'Julian just had a wonderful little afternoon with his best bud. Julian's friend. Mr. Julian's friend. My friend, my good friend, my dear old friend. You know, he's like one of those guys that every time I hang out with him, I feel like equally like better about myself and like worse. Cause he's just like, my God, like that guy, he just has such a way of like bringing me back down to earth and just like offering like the best outside perspective where I'm just like, yeah, you know, like, yeah, Julian, you in a way are like running from some of your problems, or maybe because this hasn't worked out for you, you are subconsciously trying to suppress that part of you that you know you want very badly. So he's a great friend. No, that's my best bud in the world. You know, I'm like getting to that age now where, you know, like all of the people in my life that are doing better than me, I'm happy for them. I'm not coping. I'm like being genuinely serious. I think you just reach a point in life where, you know, I'm telling you, man, life can have a way of life can really have a way of giving you the old rope-a-dope. But you know, when you see people come out on top, when you see people persevere, when you see people you know, press on and make it through certain situations, it is really good to see. Cause life ain't always easy, baby. Life is not always easy, but my dear old friend, we went and went to this lovely spot. I kind of picked this place on a whim. They had like really good reviews, but we went to this little Mediterranean spot around the corner. And the food was absolutely wonderful. Yeah, it's just like one of those like very sort of like no frills. You kind of like walk in there and they kind of look at you like, yeah, you know, like, and it's like, yeah, you know, we would like to eat something if that's okay. But the food was just like absolutely fantastic, and the service was just absolutely wonderful. We shared this dish. I think it was called the grilled boat. And it was great. It was fucking wonderful. It was just basically like all of these kebabs and like lamb and beef and chicken and like fire roasted tomato and jalapeno and onion just like over a huge like boat of rice. And then there was baba ganoush and hummus and pita and oil and red pepper, and you know, if all of the if that wasn't enough acid reflux for O'Julian, I topped it off with a coffee. That's the point I am in my life. You know, I don't order, like when I go to restaurants, I don't order soda anymore. I don't order juice. I get a water and I get a coffee. And I get coffee because I don't want to fall asleep after the meal. and then I get water so I don't tweak out after drinking the coffee. And that's exactly what I did. And we had we had an absolutely wonderful time. So, if you are in the proximity or vicinity of any of your friends and they are able-bodied or have the capacity in their schedule, or you have the capacity in your schedule to make time for them, make time for the people that are in your life, because you never know. You just never know. You never know. Life is beautiful. Life can be gorgeous, but life is also very unpredictable, and fragile. But yeah, it was just like really, really great catching up with him. You know, we really hadn't had time in a very long time to get together and you know, just catch up like men. Because men have feelings too, believe it or not. We do have feelings. Although sometimes those feelings are transmuted into abuse. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, baby. But yeah, we just had a really great time to catch up. I always love hearing about, you know, how, you know, his little family and, you know, all of the milestones and, you know, just like all of the wonderful things that he is accomplishing as a human, as a father, as a husband, you know, just as a professional, as a son. You know, I have all the respect in the world for this guy, and I'm just very grateful for the friendship that he and I have. So we did that. I just dropped him off at his place, got to hang out with the kids a little bit. Oh, Uncle Julian, playing around with the kids, playing hide and go seek with the kids. No, we didn't play hide and go seek. His son is like it's like really kind of weird. Like, his son is like 3 going on 4, but he's like smart, like in a sinister way, like in a way that kind of makes me a little bit uncomfortable. Yeah, he's just he's just a smart kid, smarter than me, smarter than I was when I was his age. What was I doing at 3 years old? I don't remember. But we had a really great lunch. Just dropped him off, and hope Julian's gonna go back to the house. Got some things to do when I get there. I didn't get to watch my movie yet that I'm gonna review, so I'm gonna do that one when I get back into the house. I already know what I'm gonna watch, and I can't wait to talk about it. And then I gotta go and I gotta tweak out about the work week, because my team was only able to finish half of the work that we were assigned this sprint. So you know, gotta go figure out how I'm gonna go cope with that. So that's the other thing. But it's been a beautiful weekend. Julian was busy over this weekend. I think I started to get into that a little bit before I shut it off, before I met up with my bud. But yeah, it's been a little busy. I think if there were like one more person that I had to spend time with, or one more activity that didn't involve me not leaving the house, I would have been annoyed. Just not gonna lie to you. But Julian's got another friend who is a DJ, and he, like, I think it's every a couple Fridays. Like, I think it's every Friday. He DJs at this little kava bar over on the other side of the bay, Danny St. Petersburg, hon. And yeah, kava bar culture is very interesting. I can't quite put my finger on that subculture of people. And you know what? It's not for me to understand. I don't know what people are so intently working on their computers at like 12 o'clock a.m. in public, but it is a little bit weird. I'm not going to lie. And yeah, like, kava is also an interesting thing. I just recently kind of got on that. Well, I'm not on it. I've tried it. All right. It's not bad. It's good. But I can't figure it out. It's like, I think all of that stuff like pushes the boundaries. I'm just like, how is like the way that stuff makes you feel sometimes? I'm kind of like, how is this legal? Like, how is this? Like, I tried that. My buddy, he's like all into that. He's like my guru when it comes to like all of the medicinals and all of that. And he's like, yeah, man, give. I tried kava and like it's cool. Like I'm like, all right, it numbs my tongue. All right, is it supposed to do that? This feels weird. Can I swallow? Am I gonna choke on my saliva? I don't know. I think I'm just like naturally anxious when it comes to stuff. So anytime I take something that makes me feel a little less normal, I immediately just kind of start to panic a little bit. But he's like, yeah, dude, like you should try. And I'm sorry, guys. This episode, I feel like my vibes are a little bit just there's some stuff that I'm like kind of thinking about, and I can't really talk about it. I can't, I talk about a lot of shit on here, but this one this thing, this sort of thing, I just can't. It wouldn't be very respectful of friends to disclose, but sometimes I do believe in a God, sometimes I don't, and in the times that I do, there are people that I put at the very top of my prayer list, and one of my very close friends is like at the very top because he's just going through a really, really rough time right now, and I don't know how he does it. I honestly sometimes don't know how he wakes up in the morning, puts clothes on, and starts his day. And I think in many ways he's a lot stronger than I am. So but yeah, anyway, fucking kava, man. I tried that shit, and no, kratom. I tried kava too. Kava's fine. It numbs you out a little bit. I get it. But I tried kratom, and that stuff is like on another level. Like, what is going on? Am I hearing things? Probably. I'm crazy. But he's like, yeah, man, give kratom a try. It's fine. Drink half and drink some water and do all this. And I'm just like, okay, I trust this guy to an extent. He's my guru. I'm trying to get a little bit more balanced, a little less anxious. Oh, Julian's mind is always all over the place. Got to slow it down a little bit, hon. And he gave me kratom, and I drank it, and I'm like, okay, this is good. Like, I feel chill, but it's like weird because like kratom, like at first makes you really anxious, and I didn't like that. And then maybe like 20 minutes later, it has like a very like calming effect. Excuse me. And I'm like, okay, I don't hate it, but like I feel like I feel like if I take any more of this, like I'm gonna be on the corner somewhere, breaking my fucking back. And he gave it to me, and I'm like, all right, it's not bad. So I tried it again, and I'd like gone to his place, and he had made me some like kratom cocktail. I mean, he's like a connoisseur. He's got like the drops, the pills, the concentrates, the powders. Like he's like full on with this stuff. And yeah, I like tried that stuff a few times, and I think one time I like overdid it because I like took it, and I swear I felt like I was in two places at once. And I'm like, okay, this stuff is kind of intense. And then it just gave me the absolute worst constipation of my life. And I'm just like, no, I'm good. Coffee is enough for me, all right? I'll drink my Modelo, all right? And we're just gonna leave it at that. Julian can't handle all of these medicinals. I just don't know if I'm fully in the right headspace for all that. All right. I know my boundaries. I've seen the other side, and there's no reason for me to push it. So yeah, my buddy, he DJ'd at this little kava bar. That was cool. I had to go and support the friend. And then I went out with that same friend, he and his girlfriend, last night, which would have been Sunday. And we went and got dinner. And went to a kava bar. He and his lady, they're really into that. So yeah, it was a good time. Oh, Julian had a good time. It's I don't love being out and about and social. Julian I'm real introverted, but once I do get out, sometimes I'm like, it's not that bad, and he's like, it's not horrible, being around other people. So that is one thing I am working on. I feel like I'm trying to practice a little bit more openness and, be a little bit less of a hermit than I already am. Just kind of get out of my comfort zone by being social, which is not always easy for me to do. So, what are you going to do? It is what it is, hon. But yeah, just wanted to drop back in. I knew I had to finish this one off, and I'm sorry, folks, if the vibes are, I have to allow, and you know what, I'm catching myself right now. I am apologizing for my energy not being like through the roof, which honestly, when I go back and listen to these things, is like kind of annoying sometimes. Which is like kind of annoying. So I'm just like, you know what, balance is good. It's good to have balance. Let's have some balance, Julian. So, just accepting that I need to just bring authentic energy to each one of these episodes, and that's it, right? Like, this is the authentic energy that I am bringing to this one. And I was struggling with this one for a little bit, guys. The past couple of days of Julian, I think I told you guys before. Julian's, sometimes, Julian is in his little moments where he's not feeling so, so jovial. And that was a great word, jovial. Jovial. Used to be a brand of, I used to work in natural foods a long time ago. Back when old Julian was working in natural foods, there was this brand, I think it was like a gluten-free brand. And they did like pastas and all this stuff, and it was called Jovial. And every time Julian would open one of those boxes and I saw Jovial, I'd be like, I should be more jovial. But I was struggling a little bit, guys, because, I was like, do I want to put, like, do I remain consistent? Or do I just kind of go off of how I'm feeling? Like, do I, Julian wasn't feeling, okay, look, I've been off, all right? I haven't been feeling happy. There, I said it. All right? Julian hasn't been feeling happy the past couple of days. Julian's been putting his life into perspective and seeing the things that he has that I'm very grateful for, but then I'm also like, oh, Julian is 35, single, no kids, doesn't have a house. Hey, look, I'm keeping it real, baby. I got to keep it real with myself, all right? I'm not going to, it is what it is, man. It is what it is, but I have some tools that I try to use to challenge a lot of my conventional thinking, and I think it can be really, trying to break the thought loops, the thought loops that just sort of snowball and can really like cloud your vision and muddy the water and get you into a dark place, and really trying to step outside of myself and observe my thoughts and understand that that's all that they are, is just thoughts. Thoughts are just thoughts. Like, we are not our mind, but god damn it, our minds are fucking strong and powerful, and yeah, they can really make you not have a great day. But oh, poor me, oh, poor Julian. But no, I really wanted to show up. I wanted to remain consistent. Like, one of the things that I told myself when I started this, I was just like, you know what? Like, I'm not always going to feel like uploading. I'm not always going to feel like I have something to say. I honestly, like, when I make these episodes, why am I yelling? When I make these episodes, I usually have like an idea of what I'm going to say. Like, I'll have like a few bullet points of like overall like topics that I want to talk about, but I never like Like nothing is scripted. Like it's mainly just me just kind of going off the rip and then just kind of going down all of these different paths and avenues once I start talking about something. But when I was putting this episode together, I was just kind of like, oh God, like I'm not feeling so great. I'm feeling a little bit down. Um, it was really even hard for me to just kind of get into the headspace of like feeling motivated to put one of these episodes out. I mean, I'm going to be dropping this one late. It's already like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Usually I always try to have these done way earlier and sent. But you know what? That's just like not how life always works out. And you know what? That's okay. That's okay. But you know what? I am to a degree proud of myself um, for pulling the mic out and talking. And you know, I think also on the same side of that, um, it does feel good to let some things out. You know, I was talking to my guru friend, the Kava friend, and you know, we were kind of talking about the show, and I'm like, dude, no one fucking listens to this. Like, it's you, my other friend, like, and a couple of family members, and like, it feels good to put this out. Like, every time I start talking, I'm like, okay, I feel a little bit better because I'm able to like kind of get stuff out. And he's like, dude, you're fucking journaling, man. He's like, dude, like, it's for you. Like, yeah, of course, like, you want to get it out and other people to hear it, but he was just like, dude, like, you are doing this for you. And I'm like, you know what, man? Like, you're absolutely right. He's like, well, how do you feel when you do it, man? And I'm like, I feel like good. It feels like a release. Like, it feels like, he's like, dude, you're fucking journaling, man. It's fucking therapy. And he's right. He's right. He's right. Like, even right now, like, even in this moment right now, where I'm like sitting in my car kind of feeling like really shit about myself and about my life circumstances, and which is like, I mean, if you look at my life on paper, it's just like, I have all of the things I need. Like, I have a job. I have a family that loves me. I have friends that love me and care about me. Like, my bills are paid. Like, give me some more money, though. But, like, I have my basic necessities, and what? Fucking Florida drivers again. Sorry. But like, I'm taken care of. Like, I'm good. Like, I have everything I need. I have everything that I could need. But then like there's also this part of me that like feels like a complete absolute failure. Isn't that crazy? Like, isn't that crazy? Like, as I sit in my car, drive to the house that I'm renting, that I've been able to pay for, that I've been blessed with, like, I still feel like in this moment that I'm not shit. And even feeling like I'm never gonna be shit. Because, like, oh, like, you know, you didn't hit this accomplishment by this age, and like you're about to be 35, and like, what do you have to show for it? And like, you're still single and alone, and like, yeah, man. How's that? Yeah. So I think I need to just like, and like, that's how I got to talk to myself sometimes, right? Like, you really just kind of have to break it down. You have to break it down, man. Even when it like feels shitty. Like, there's no reason for me to be feeling this way, but I feel this way. And you know what? I'm going to allow myself to feel this way. I'm going to give myself the grace to feel my emotions. But I can't let these feelings define me as a human being overall. Like, my entire existence doesn't come down to like what I have or have not achieved per se by, you know, like a certain age. That's just a lot of pressure to put on myself that is unnecessary. But look, this is the fucking show, man. This is fucking Needless Complexity. You're getting it straight from the horse's mouth, and we keep it real. All right? We keep it real, baby. We keep it real. It's a beautiful day. It's 60 degrees in the wintertime in Florida. I have so much to be thankful for. So that's what I'm going to do. That is exactly what I'm going to do. And I feel much better. It would have been so easy for me to just be like, you know what? I don't have anything to say today. I'm feeling away. I'll just record on Tuesday. It's just one day after Monday. It's just one day after Monday. And then Tuesday's probably going to come and it's just going to be like, oh, well, I'm super busy with work and work is crazy. And maybe I'll do it Wednesday. Oh, and then Wednesday's going to turn into Thursday. And then it's going to turn into a week. And I'm just going to be like, well, no one listens to it anyway. So who gives a shit if it's 1 week or 2 weeks? Um, and that completely goes against everything that I said when I started this. I said when I started this, I mean, unless there's just like a reason I absolutely cannot do it, then fine, I'll make it up, but I'm not going to not do it just because I don't feel like it. Um so in that regard, I'm proud of myself. Like, am I as happy with the quality of this episode? Um no, because I think also I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself to like bring it, if you know what I mean. Like, I need to bring it every episode, and it doesn't have to be that way. Like, it doesn't have to be that way all of the time. I think what I need to do is just like understand that as long as I keep this thing real and authentic, then I think that's it. I think that is that's the hard part, right? Like, that's not even the hard part. That's just like the basis, and like that's just me staying like true to the vision of what I wanted to do. Um so yeah, that's that. Um Let me see. Where are we at here? I've been running my fucking mouth. Well, I tell you what, oh, Julian's good at running his mouth. That's one thing for sure. That is one thing for sure. You will never, ever, 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 ever get. You will never get enough content on Needless Complexity Show, because god damn it, sometimes I talk so much that like I make myself sick. Talking for you for 26 minutes. Jesus Christ. All right, I gotta let this one go. But guys, listen, I really appreciate anyone who gives this show the time of day. I am just going with the flow. I like the direction that this show is in. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy every process, every part of the process of this show. And I'm going to keep fucking doing it until I decide I don't want to anymore, all right? So yeah, you gotta stick around or just not listen, because I'm not going anywhere, baby.
Well, um, yeah, we watched a very interesting one. And actually, you know what? I'm going to be 100% honest. I think interesting would be giving this one a little too much grace. um okay, well, first and foremost, my Amazon curator is fired. No, I'm just kidding. My Amazon curator is on strike 1. All right. All right, let's just get into it. Just finished watching um Cold Meat. Cold Meat. And I got to say off the bat, um we didn't like this one. We weren't vibing with this one. This one was yeah, it was painful, to be honest. I can't remember the last movie that I saw and like wanted it to be over within like the first 15 minutes of the movie. Um yeah, this one was dreadful. It was horrible, honey. All right, well, let's just get into the synopsis really quick so we can just sort of set the tone, and we can go from there. All right, so Cold Meat came out in 2024, and it is categorized as a mystery and thriller. Um, I get the thriller part. I don't get the mystery part because there was absolutely nothing mysterious about this movie at all. Um, Jesus Christ, this movie had like so many plot holes, and just like it's like okay. I'm not gonna let me just read the synopsis because I'm going in already, and I want to keep things orderly. All right, so Cold Meat, everyone. David Peterson is passing through the Colorado Rockies after saving a young diner waitress from her violent ex husband during a break from driving. He hits the road again alone through a dangerous snow blizzard. One false move behind the wheel has him waking up inside a ravine in the eye of the storm. But the cold is the least of his worries when a beast starts prowling outside. How will he survive? Okay. So, I think I'm going to have to tone it back a little bit with going into some of these movies blind. Yeah, this one was just it was just not good. it was just it was just not a good movie at all. It was directed by a gentleman named Sebastian Druin. Um and he did another movie which when I try to click on the movie, like no information on the movie pops up at all. Like the other movie that he did, it's like grayed out. And it only gives you the name, so it doesn't yeah. All right. All right, Sebastian. Did he write it too or did he just Okay, so yeah, he wrote it. He wrote and directed this. Okay. All right, Sebastian. Yeah, so let's just get right into it. The title is like very self-explanatory. Yeah, this guy goes into a diner and sort of um blank knights his way into gaining the trust of this damsel in distress. Like everything about this movie was like cliche in the worst of ways. Like it was just such a bad copy paste movie and like with no creative value whatsoever. I'm shitting on it already and rightfully so. Um it's just bad. Like from the opening scene, like they had some pretty okay like aerial drone shots, but the person who was like operating the camera drone was like not doing a good job whatsoever because there were like the panning of the camera from the drone shots was like so like shaky and stuttery that it was like super distracting. Um yeah. I mean oh God, I don't even really know where to start with this one. Um okay, you know what? Let me start with the things that I did like. All right? Like I don't want to just shit all over this movie for the sake of doing it because it's easy. uh but you know, at the end of the day, someone had an idea and they executed on that idea. And you know what? For that, I give them props. I think it was poorly executed. But hey, look, I'm sitting here in bed with a mic talking into my phone, and that person just like went out and made a movie. So, you know, I guess you take that how you may. But okay, so right off the bat, like it's the most classic sort. Okay. I'm don't go watch this movie. Don't go out of your way. I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened in under like 30 seconds. All right, dude is basically driving through like the Black Mountains in Colorado. Pulls off at a diner, wants to get a cup of coffee. You know, he's super well put together. He's like serial killer vibes kind of dude.
the waitress who's in the diner is, helping him. They're about to close, and then her violent ex-husband comes in, and they get into it, and then he kind of steps in a little bit and is like, "Hey, man," kind of talks the ex-husband or boyfriend off of a cliff. So we think, and then she's like, "Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for helping me." And I'm not doing an accent, by the way. I realized I was like kind of doing, even though she was like an immigrant. That was like another thing. I'm gonna touch on that part too. Not on immigration, but like on how just so many things didn't make sense. Okay, so guy leaves the diner after, he kind of like saves her, I guess. And the boyfriend is still mad, so he basically chases him through the mountains in his car. He goes off the road, car gets stuck, blizzard comes in, boyfriend's truck goes off somewhere. We never see him again. And then come to find out, the big twist is, or I guess the mystery aspect of this movie. He goes to open his trunk, and lo and behold, the waitress is back there. So at some point he had basically like chloroformed her, kidnapped her, and we find out he's a serial killer, and basically the entire movie takes place inside of the car, them like going back and forth with just like super cringe dialogue and like the direct okay, anyway, so that's the movie. Oh, and then on top of that, there's like a weird forest spirit demon thing that we only see like twice in the movie for like less than 10 seconds. Yeah. So the movie takes place in Chicago, but I mean Chicago. The movie takes place in um it's set in Colorado, but I swear every single person in the movie was like European. And at first I'm like, was this like filmed in like Europe, but they're just saying it's set in Colorado because it's like it's cheaper to film there? I don't know. But like okay, I did say I was gonna say like what I did like about it. Okay, what I did like about the movie. The guy that actually played sort of like the serial killer villain, he was actually like a really good actor. Like he was selling it. He was selling all of the vibes, the creepy vibes, the psychopath vibes. Like he was checking all of the, like he was a good actor. I cannot say the same about anyone else in the film. Unfortunately, the lead actress um was just like, she was struggling. She was struggling. Someone gave her a chance. Look, I power to him. I know she did her best, but I did not believe a word of anything that she said. I just like nothing about her character. Um, Nothing about her character was believable whatsoever. And it's like it's very hard to have sympathy for a character who's just like not who is just like not being well represented, because you have an actress who's just not representing that character. Like you kind of see, you can see where they wanted her to go, but she just couldn't quite get there. And then the dude who's playing the serial killer is actually like an incredible actor. And I'm just like, damn, like that kind of sucks. You know what I mean? Because you want to root for this person, but you just don't believe her. Like it's just not clicking. The chemistry between the two was like raw, like really off. I felt like the a lot of the choices like that the director made were like really like off. Like a lot of the choices that the characters made like in the writing was like really stupid. Um and I don't like throwing around the word stupid so flippantly, but it was just like it felt like there was no thought or like whatsoever that like went into the script, other than like, here's what's gonna happen. you know like, I get it, it's a movie, but like is there like at least like a minimal amount of work that's gonna go into the choices that the characters make that make it like somewhat believable. Like, I feel like I stopped taking the movie seriously like 5 minutes into it. How long am I going? I don't want this part to be too. I'm already freaking 11 minutes in. Jesus Christ, man. All right.
Wow. All right, let me hurry this up because this movie is really not worth talking about that much. Um, okay, so Rotten Tomatoes. I'm I'm blown away. Okay, audience gives it a 46%. What are the critics smoking? Critics gave this movie a 92%. That is crazy. All right, they're getting paid. I have a conspiracy. I have a conspiracy with Rotten Tomatoes. I think the critics, I think they are paying them for these reviews because there is no way this movie has a 92%. And that's why Rotten Tomatoes doesn't let you see the audience views on the app. If you want to see like the specific audience reviews for Rotten Tomatoes, you have to go on their web browser because they don't show the audience reviews on the app. They only show you the percent. But you see the critics' full reviews on the app. What kind of shit is that? I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. Okay, let's see. What are the at a high level? Let's see what the critics are saying. Um, Supernatural survival thriller tails off after a tragic start. Yeah, it sucked. Um, this person says, although the film spins its wheels a little bit, like the car trying to get out of the snowbank. Okay, the tone and construction makes Cold Meat worth watching. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Who paid you? There is no one in their right mind other than someone who got paid that would have anything positive to say about this movie other than like the guy made smoking a cigarette look good. The guy could smoke the shit out of a cigarette. Um Druin finds clever ways to keep the characters and the audience on edge. Yeah, like on the edge of turning it off. This UK Canadian thriller has a wind-hardened snow crust of malice. It is some, and now they're just throwing around big words. Like, come on, it sucked. All right, let's see what the audience said real quick. And now they're like mixing the. Okay, let me switch to audience. Not everything's a conspiracy, Julian. All right. Oh, verified audience. No Okay, so they're not even showing. They're not even giving you the audience reviews anymore on the Okay, here we go. Cold Meat suffers from a misleading trailer and an execution that fails to match its promise. Absolutely. Cold Meat is relentlessly unpleasant, is an relentlessly an unpleasant experience that falls apart almost immediately. Yes. Like the worst movie I've watched in recent years. Yes. Like there's no way that you can give this movie a high review if there's no sort of incentive. Let me hop over to Letterbox real quick. Let me see how my therapy folk are doing. All right, reviews. Uh okay, cold, engaging, grisly, lean, short, tense, twisty, uneven. I don't know what I mean. So what did you think? Good? Not good? A pretty solid first act. Yeah, a less good and disappointing everything else. Yeah, they're being nice. They're being nice. And you know what? People should be nice. This thriller starts with a cool character and a bit of driving and a blizzard suspense, throws in a surprise, then struggles to fill the rest of the time. Yes, I was over it like 30 minutes into the movie. And the movie was short. It was like, I think, an hour and a half. It's about a couple stuck in a car. If you want to call them I don't know if you call them a couple. A killer and his prey, maybe. Um, yeah, see, that's the thing about Letterbox and why I call it like SSRI. I think some of these people are so like juiced up and medicated that they only like review these movies with like one word. Like someone just goes, brrr. Okay. 1 star, just fucking kill the bastard. Yes, this woman had so many opportunities to kill this guy, and then she like listens to his whole like mommy daddy trauma issue story and like how he became a serial killer, and she just sits there and listens to it. Uh yeah, okay. Oh dear, I wanted to like this, but there was some glaring oversights that were impossible to ignore. Yes. Yes. Like I've never felt like a protagonist was so and I don't want to use the S word, but I want to say like foolish to extend that, and that's very graceful. That's me being graceful. All right, I'm just gonna keep reading these reviews and shitting on it, and I don't want to do that. The fact is, yeah, cold meat, no bueno, no good. Amazon curator, that's strike one. All right. Truthfully, I need to just like start going on like real streaming platforms that like are for real movies, like Mubi and some of the other ones. I just truthfully, guys, like haven't had a ton of time to like really hit everything on my list because I've just been so busy. But I really want to be more intentional with my like real list of movies that I have that I want to see, that I want to talk about, that I really want to get into, and just sort of pick apart. This one, it seemed kind of interesting. And, you know, I went in blind, and honestly, just reading the synopsis, it kind of seems a little snoozy and overdone. There's absolutely nothing in this movie that you have not seen before, and I think it's a little bit of a disrespect to the genre. Cold meat, I mean, yeah, a one at max. All right, yeah. Oh, Jesus. Well, I really appreciate all you tuning in to the Needless Complexity Show. It really means a lot to me. You know, I really enjoy doing this. I know I'm all over the place. I know I have trouble sometimes forming like a single sentence. I know I go down rabbit holes and branches, but you know what? Look into my heart. You will find what you... I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I hope you guys are doing all right. I hope you continue to do all right out there in Radio Land. And I will catch you on the next episode of the Needless Complexity Show. Good evening, everyone.
Needless complexity. Needless. It's needless complexity.